Hello and welcome to Meet Our Makers, an artist interview podcast produced in association with Beats Per Minute. I'm your host, Jeremy J. Fissette. On this episode, we get to meet Jace, Lasek, and Olga Goreas of rock band the Besnard Lakes. Hailing from Canada, the Besnard Lakes have been known for their expansive, dense, spacey, atmospheric, noir-influenced take on rock music. They've put out several albums and have a new one coming out this month on January 29th called The Besnard Lakes Are the Last of the Great Thunderstorm Warnings. In this chat, Jace and Olga and I discuss the inception of the album, what went into it, what some of the underlying themes were, as well as what led to that lengthy, strange title. We also talk about the way they use music to kind of process and respond to life's struggles and questions. We discuss what it's been like for them to be working so independently for so many years, including recording almost all of their albums in their own studio. We talk about what they've been up to during quarantine, as well as what their hopes are for the future, including the future of live music. So thank you for listening, and please enjoy. This is me meeting the Besnard Lakes. Hi. I assume this is Jace?
Yeah. Olga's here too.
Oh, hi, Olga. I'm glad you're both here. She sounds like she's doing something in the background.
She's making a drink.
Well, yeah, just a quick little drinky.
Festive.
Yeah.
Hi. Thank you for coming in tonight.
No problem.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing pretty good, all things considered.
I know. I was gonna ask how these months have been treating you.
I mean, not bad. I mean, it really kind of it causes everybody to change what they're doing, right? You kind of drop everything and reconfigure, and I guess in a sense it's been okay. And in that way, I was mixing a lot at my studio in Montreal, and we have a place in about 45 minutes outside of Montreal where we live now. And so when the lockdown happened, I just started working from home, and I didn't think that would be something that I would be able to do, but it turns out that I was able to figure out a way to work from home where I think I'm actually making better mixes than I ever have.
Oh, wow.
And I spent all this time making a recording studio in Montreal, and now I'm hardly ever there. So,
well, I mean, can you record from home?
Yes, I can record from home, but not really. I mean, I still need the studio for tracking bands and stuff like that. So I still go in, but now all my mixing is done from home. So it's nice. I mean, in the summertime, we have a garden here, and so we were able to tend our garden and do a few things around the house because we couldn't really go anywhere. So the one big thing that we missed is every year we actually go to Besnard Lake.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We have a permanent campsite there. And this year, we usually go and stay there for a month and turn off the data and the cell phone. I mean, there's no cell phone range up there anyways. So, but this year we didn't have that. So it stings a little bit knowing that this is the first 20 some years that we haven't been to Besnard Lake.
Oh, wow.
This year. So that was a bit tough, but hopefully we'll get to go next year.
I know. So you go in the summer. I'm hoping by next summer it's okay.
Yes, let's cross our fingers. Yeah.
No, I know. I keep hoping and hoping. I just saw on the news today that we should all be good by spring.
Let's hope.
Of course.
Yeah, of course, obviously, because it feels so optimistic out there right now.
I mean, it does. I keep seeing things in the news about Pfizer's vaccines and all these things that are supposed to be coming. I just think I have this theory that as soon as Trump leaves office, the coronavirus is just going to go away.
That would be really funny because that's what he's been promising would happen this whole time. It's just going to go away. We'll see, though. I don't know. I know it's so funny. I live in Connecticut where Pfizer is, so it's so funny when I'm like, oh, I live there. Like we don't, things from here don't make the news that often. So
can you just go down to the end of the street and get like a vaccine from the warehouse?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I haven't tried. I know a lot of people are nervous to take like the first round of them, but
yes,
once they're around, I feel like I'm gonna want it.
Yeah. I mean, who knows with vaccines? It's like
I know.
I feel like in this part of the pandemic, people maybe should take I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I guess so. I know they said hopefully by spring it should be around. So hopefully we'll start seeing if the world will be going back to normal soon.
Wow.
Whatever normal is now, I don't even know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't think anybody knows anymore either.
I know. People keep talking about there being some sort of after as opposed to going back to before. So we'll see what that means.
Yeah. I mean, maybe all the skyscrapers will finally get torn down. Because everybody's there, all the offices are going to be empty. People are going to be like, I'm not going back to work. Why would I go back to work? I'll work from home.
Yeah, I have friends who have been working from home this entire time, and their jobs seem to be of that mind of like, wait, I guess we kind of can let all these people work from home.
Yeah.
So you don't really need to go in.
I have a friend who works from home, and the only drawback is she doesn't ever feel like she's not working.
Yeah, I could see that.
People kind of feel like they can contact her at all hours, and she's had to like set this certain like I'm on from 9 till 5 like every other day in the old days. Mm-hmm. And then I'm off. But I mean, some people will be emailing her at like 6 o'clock, 5:30 saying, can you do this? Because they know that they can because they're technically, quote unquote in the office,
Right.
So,
yeah, I guess if you were in the office at 6 o'clock, it's one thing, but yeah, being home, I don't know. Yeah, that separation, it's so important, but it's also kind of hard to establish, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I'm a teacher, so I have not mostly been working from home, although we are currently. We actually just started a 2-week like quarantine remote thing this week.
What's it like as a teacher?
It's really weird.
Doing Zoom, doing Zoom stuff like.
Yeah, we use Google Meet, and none of the kids turn their cameras on. Because we, I understand. It's very quite strange. And like but it's interesting because they all talk about how, or 80% of them talk about how much they prefer to be in class because even with the masks and everything, they still like want to be around people. But then I'm like, okay, well, we can turn our cameras on and like look at each other, and they all say no.
They're not there. Like they're totally not there, are they?
No,
they're not even there.
Oh
yeah.
no, I'm fully under the assumption that at least a fifth of my class is missing at any given time, and I don't even know it. Yeah, it's really weird. We talk into the void, and we get, they chat in the text chat. They respond to me that way, but yeah, it's very strange. In some ways, I don't mind it. They're, kids these days are extremely online, so they're kind of more themselves this way. Mm-hmm. Like they're a lot less inhibited through the chat. They're very funny, and they like, make fun of each other in a nice way, and they're very outgoing. And then in the room, it's like no one wants to say anything. So in that sense, I kind of like seeing them out of their shell a little bit more. But
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
I never really.
It makes sense, but it makes sense, but I wasn't anticipating it for some reason. So yeah, it's mostly been really weird. We're supposed to go back the Monday after Thanksgiving, but I don't think, I have a feeling we're not going to. And by the time this airs, it'll be January, so we'll know by then. Because everything's getting worse. Every night on the news, it's getting worse. So I don't see why we suddenly would be going back after a 2-week quarantine now. So
Yeah, I mean, it's getting worse up here too.
Yeah, I was going to say our infection rate for the state went down today, but I think the country's at like 4 right now or something.
Yeah.
Which is pretty high for the whole country.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
4%. Yeah, okay.
Oh, 4% of the population?
It's something, or maybe it's 4% of, who gets tested because they can't measure. Yeah, they can't measure who doesn't get tested. But like yesterday, Connecticut's was, I think, like 7 something, and today it was 4 something.
Okay.
So it's going up though. So I don't know. I think it's just going to be a hard winter.
Oh, it's crazy.
I know.
It's so weird.
It is really weird. And it's been so long. So like this has been, someone I saw on Twitter the other day, I was like, this is the longest March of my life. Like it just doesn't end. And I forget who I was talking to for the show recently, but they were just kind of lamenting over the fact that 2020 really has been like one thing after another. So
yeah,
hopefully 2021 is better. Hopefully this idiot gets the fuck out of his job and we can all move on.
Yeah.
Because that'll help, I hope.
I think it might. Like I said, it's gonna just disappear.
Yeah.
It's gonna follow him out of the White House.
From your words to the scientists' ears.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Just tell that to all the scientists.
Yeah. He said it's gonna follow you out. All right, so you guys, the Besnard Lakes, of which you are 2 members, obviously, you have a record coming out in January on the 19th. I think this will go up before then, so it's not going to be weird that I'm saying it's coming out, but it's probably about to come out if you're listening to this now. On Fat Cat in the US anyway. I'm not sure where it's coming out elsewhere.
Full-time hobby in the UK and Europe, and Flemish Eye in Canada.
Oh, okay. Fat Cat, that's a new label for you guys, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Your previous ones were Jag, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
So this new record, the Besnard Lakes, are the last of the Great Thunderstorm Warnings. Longest title you guys have had yet.
Great.
Also finishes with the longest song you guys have made yet, I think.
Yes.
I haven't heard the record yet, but I don't remember where I saw the track durations, but I know I saw that the last one is almost 20 minutes long.
Yes.
Which has me very excited, to be honest.
Actually, it's infinite.
Oh, does it loop? Does it loop
vinyl.
back?
It's an endless groove on the vinyl.
Oh, see that? I'm okay. That's exciting.
Yeah, it never ends. Yeah. The reason why the digital is that long is because, on the vinyl, the song ends. The last song is called "The Last of the Great Thunderstorm Warnings," and when it ends, it sort of folds into a drone, and the drone carries you back into your afterlife, and then on the vinyl, it takes you into an endless groove, which is kind of like an endless space.
So when I am like lying on my couch and playing it, I'm never gonna get up.
That's correct.
Okay,
that's the
I guess
intention.
That's the goal.
Yeah. The intention is to listen front to back and fall asleep halfway through and wake up 2 hours later and wonder why it's still playing.
Yeah, I'm gonna think I'm in a dream or something. But
yes, I hope.
Although
so.
Now I know. Now I'm aware. So maybe I'll come to my senses a little more quickly. So I just think it's kind of humorous. This is your 3rd album with you guys declaring what you are.
Yeah.
The first one, 2007, Besnard Lakes Are the Dark Horse, which was sort of like your big breakout album. That's when I found out about you guys. And then 2010s Are the Roaring Night. Then you took 2 albums off. I guess you were content with being the Roaring Night. But why? What does this mean?
It's like, that's a good one. Let's just.
Because like now it will have been 11 years later. So what does it mean that you are the last of the? Does it mean anything that you are the last of the Great Thunderstorm Warnings? I
mean, it does. Like we had taken a long time off, and when I was growing up, in Saskatchewan, like on the prairies up here in Canada, before there were, cell phones and weather networks and all that. They were, when I was a kid, on the TV, they would flash, like it would take you from your regularly scheduled programming and flash this really weird blue and red screen with lettering text on it telling you that there was a severe thunderstorm warning about to happen. And when I was a kid, because, you're on the prairies and there's not a lot of things to do. There's no internet or no cell phone. And so you get bored. And so when those things happened, when the thunderstorms, the warnings happened, I remember feeling really excited about it. Like it kind of got me, kind of giddy. I mean, it's a really, dark thing to get giddy about. But at that, and I'm thinking about it later, I kind of realized that it was one of the things that kind of makes you feel alive, is this like, this like fearful thing that's about to happen, but it's also like, it's like the awesome force of nature. There's probably actually like electricity in the air if it's a severe thunderstorm warning. So you kind of feel the static in a way. And so when we were naming this title, it was like, I kind of felt like these days where everything's happening so quickly, and everybody's on the phones, and like there's like all this immediate gratification. I kind of harken back to this idea of it being like, this idea that you're finally feeling alive for a split second. And we want the record to be kind of the last of that. Like it's the last of the long form albums. Nobody's really making long form albums anymore, but we don't really care. We want people to listen to the record from beginning to end. We had this idea when we first were speaking to the labels about releasing the whole album as just one single track that you would buy on, Spotify or just stream or whatever. And obviously it would have been like a 70-minute long track or something that we would sell for like 99 cents. And they were just like, no, you can't do that. That's just not possible. I mean,
that's not how you play the streaming game these days.
It's how you play the streaming game these days, boys and girls. Yeah. So they just said no to that, which was, I guess, probably an all right idea. But we wanted this record to be like, we wanted to be, it's all of our records are sort of based in a concept, and this album is not outside of that. And we just wanted people to understand that it was it's something that we hope that people will put it on and listen to all the way through. I mean, everybody's going to have songs that they like more than others, but our intention and the reason why it took so long for us to put this out is because we went through a bunch of iterations of this record because we had the time to do it. Making the sequence and creating the songs that helped the record flow from one end to the other in a way that we thought, served the long form album in its, in its dying years.
Yeah, it is a weird time to be releasing albums like you guys release, especially one that I think, if I'm correct in saying, it's your longest album yet.
Yes.
So you guys were trying then to kind of create as much of an album as you could create, it sounds like.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's always our mandate. Like probably Colosseum, the record we made last, was probably the only record we've done where we were sort of more song based as an overarching, like thinking about the flow of the album. Those songs were shorter. We were, trying to sort of see if it was almost as an exercise for us to see how we could, if we were actually capable of writing shorter songs. And it was fun, and we liked that, and it was a fun exercise. But once that record was done and we went through that, we were like, let's just make something and it doesn't matter how long it's going to take. Let's make the long form, Dark Side of the Moon, spiritualized laser guided melodies, Beach Boys, Smile. Let's try to make that long form continuous album that flows, that we've always tried to achieve, but never done it in this way.
Yeah. So all the songs do they seamlessly go together?
Most of them do. Yeah. Some of them do have breaks, but we put the breaks in there just to kind of almost like a breath, but yeah, they do flow into each other, a lot of them.
So you mentioned that your albums usually do have some sort of conceptual framework. What were some of the sort of fueling ideas for you guys behind this one, besides the titular thunderstorm warning?
This one's mostly about death.
Oh, that's my favorite topic. Oh, that's funny.
We always, this about, I'm a big Prince fan, and he passed away a few years ago, and that really affected me. And then last year, my dad passed away. And so, when we did UFO, that song was, that album was about Augie's dad passing away. So this album was sort of speaking a lot to that, like just the idea of like everybody being subjected to the idea of death, because your friends are going to die, your parents are going to die, you're going to die, your wife, your husband, they're all, your friends. Yeah.
They're all going to die. Everybody's going to die.
And as you get older, you start to realize that that's like a pretty heavy thing and you don't think about it too much. And so this album is kind of the process of like going through, going from life to near death to death, and then coming back again on the other side, wherever that is and whatever that is, and just the contemplation of trying to be okay with that, because it's something that we have to be okay with, because it's the only thing that keeps changing, is this idea everybody just on earth just dies and is born again, and then a bunch of people die and a bunch of people are born. It just gets just a big cycle.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what the record is, and that's why we have the endless groove at the end, to create this sort of infinite. I hate having to explain it to. I'm hoping everybody doesn't. We'll just censor this part. You don't know what the record's about. And then Augie helped with the sequence. So she always helps to get the sequence sorted out so it flows properly. And then we have 4 sides of vinyl, and so she aptly named them. What are they?
Near death, death, after death, and life.
Oh, okay. In that order, I assume.
In that order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. it could work in other. If you started at life and then went to near death, and that, you know what I mean? Like you can kind of,
it depends on your mood for the day. You could just listen to one side if you want to.
Right.
You can listen to death and just keep listening to death. And then
right. That's what we're all gonna do.
Yeah, we're all
just listen to the death.
Yeah, it's very apropos of the time.
Yes. Yeah, the goth in you will listen to that.
Right. Well, there has always been almost kind of like a throwback gothy vibe to your music. There's kind of like a noir kind of feel to a lot of what you guys do. So I think that sort of fits in.
Yeah.
I was a hardcore goth when I was young.
That doesn't really shock me though.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the influence. You can hear the influences of like 80s and 90s goth rock and sort of dark, kind of not really metal, but sort of that more moody rock music kind of on your aesthetic. So with a record then,
peace punks back then.
Oh, really? I've never heard that.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't know if that one's persisted. I guess not.
Maybe not around here. I haven't heard it. So then with a record that is at least rooted in a lot of personal introspection and personal experience, do you start with the words, or are you a band that creates the music first and then you kind of add words to it?
Music first,
Okay.
all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I usually have to write words to fit the music, but Augie has this amazing way of, she writes a lot of poetry, and she has an amazing way of taking the poems that she's written and making them the lyrics. And I've tried to do, I mean, I used to be able to do that, but I think maybe I've just kind of run out of material. But Augie's really good at that. So I did a lot of writing. I mean, we would always write the music first and put the lyrics on after, but it would be me sitting there, mumbling things to sort them out. But when Augie puts hers down, she's looking through her books to like find things that fit. So
I was just going to say, so are Olga songs by her and Jace songs are by you?
Not always.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes.
Just that I think the only like the ones usually that I'm singing, those are my lyrics usually, and that same with Jace.
Usually,
okay.
Yeah, but not always though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times it's like, even with the songs that are written too, it's like sometimes the song will get written, but one of us won't have an idea for where to put a vocal. So we'll just give it over to the other person to figure out.
So you two sort of combine your strengths, so to speak.
Pretty much.
Combine the force.
Yeah. Or
maybe that's what I meant.
or pass the buck.
Yeah. Hey, I can't finish this one.
Well, yeah.
Why don't you just do it?
Fair bit of this, yeah. That's true.
So when was this album done? Was it completed over quarantine, or was it ready before quarantine?
It was finished quite a bit before quarantine.
Well, I mean, it was technically finished like in January of last year. This year, sorry.
January of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah. So it wasn't. Yeah.
So yeah, it wasn't like 3 years ago that you've been sitting on this. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did have a lot of the material. Like we played some shows, like in.
I think that was February of the year, like last February, not this February that just passed, but the one before.
Yeah.
We had played some shows with the new songs that they had been completed but not mixed. And I think anyway, we had never done that before either. We always play the songs after they have been recorded and mixed, and about 2 weeks before they get released and we go on tour, we have to learn the songs that we've made in the studio. So this record, because we had them sitting around and we finally had figured out the sequence and which songs we were going to use, someone offered us a show, and we thought that'd be a cool idea to do that since we'd never done it before.
Did that change anything for you guys once you got into the studio, that you had already kind of road tested them a little bit?
Yeah, for me, in a way, it kind of made me, and I'd never realized this before, and this is probably super obvious to other musicians who do it this way, but it really makes you understand how certain sections feel and work with a band towards an audience. Like, I mean, it's just me saying that makes it's like, okay, Mr. Obvious. Of course it does. But I mean, when you're performing it, I remember thinking, wow, this is why people play songs before they record them, because they figure out, oh, this maybe pacing doesn't work, or this guitar line kind of grates against this other part, but it's fine on the record. And I mean, nothing really came out, like everything felt quite good when we played it, which was awesome to me. There's a few songs that we've written over the past that have proven difficult to perform live. I can't remember what they are at this point, but that's that's because that's a byproduct of us, making the records and figuring it out after the fact, and not really thinking too much about how to perform it live.
You guys, it should be said, for those who don't know, we mentioned your studio earlier, Break Glass Studio in Montreal. I think I saw you've recorded all but your first Besnard Lakes record there. Is that correct?
Yes.
Or something like
that's pretty much it. Yeah. The first record was done in a shoebox studio that we kind of had. And after that, we had moved to Break Glass. But before that, it wasn't. Yeah, it was kind of ramshackled together.
So, you, with access to your own studio and your own kind of engineering ideas and aesthetics, how has your relationship with the studio changed over the years, being in the studio?
I think for me, I've tried with Besnard. There was a moment where we were adding, trying to add more and add more and add more, and then there was a moment, and this even applies to when I'm producing other bands or working with other bands, or mixing. Is there came a point where I started to kind of strip away things and try to find, the essence of what makes the song cool, and all the other things or work even, and all the other frills and gimmicks that you're trying to add to make the song work are just deterrents. And maybe in a way they're actually messages to you saying this song isn't working. So there's kind of an arc where we kind of went, like the first records are they're long, the songs are still long, but there's not a ton of instrumentation. It's not minimal, but it's not, it's not super dense. Roaring Night is the same, and then our Dark Horse is the same density sort of as Volume 1 is, and then Roaring Night gets a little bit more dense, and then UFO is super dense, and Coliseum is pretty dense. We're starting to pull it back a bit, and this one is like, it has density, but I feel like there's only really the essential parts are there. Mm-hmm. There aren't really a lot of frills and gimmicks on this album, just for the sake of it being there.
Yeah. Do you two feel like you sort of thrive in the studio? Do you really enjoy being in the studio?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love playing live too, but
yeah. Oh, those days.
Oh, those days.
The salad days. Yeah.
Those days. Yeah.
I love the studio. To me, is like my, some people do jigsaw puzzles. Some people do paintings, just to calm themselves down or whatever. I like the studio. I can, especially if I'm doing like my own, working on Besnard, I can just go in there and just get lost for hours, and it's I still have lots of fun doing it, and it's as much as it can be frustrating, it's kind of very relaxing for me as well. I mean, it's a thing that I realized at a very young age that it was something that was, therapeutic, I guess you could say. In the end, I just really had a lot of fun doing it, and realized that it was something that I didn't want to stop doing. And I tried everything in my nth power to create a life where it could be continued, that I do this, it's it's a tough, hobby or profession to continue to do, like if painting makes you happy, you can just buy some paints.
Yeah, that's true.
But in order to like record music and put records out, it's, you have to buy lots of gear, and you can always, if you want to buy an expensive tube of paint or a really cool brush, then you can. But if you want to buy like a pedal steel guitar so you can sound like, Graham
Old
Parsons,
country music. Good old country.
Then you need to save up some money to do it. So it's like, it's I feel very lucky that we've been able to continue to do this, and that we have the means to do it, and we've kind of set our house up here in a way that we can be creative when we want to, and not creative when we don't want to, and yeah, I think it's kept us happy and content, I think.
Well, that's good.
Yeah,
At least it's good that you don't get disillusioned with it after the years.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, we have. I mean, I think that the disillusionment comes from the industry, and we've had such a nice. I feel like we've had a pretty nice go of the industry. We've had great support over the years. With everybody that we've worked with, and we haven't had. I know people, musicians who have had bad experiences with people that they've worked with in the past, and bad tours, and lost lots of money, and we've just been very transparent with the way that we deal with people, and searched out people who work in the same way. So in that sense, I think it's really helped us. We also have made it really important that we understand everybody's job. And so, I mean, back in the early days, like, we were the managers, we put out the record ourselves, and we knew how to manufacture them, and how to do the artwork, and what publishing was. And so we figured all that stuff out in the early days, so that when we speak to people who are taking the record and working with it, we understand what they're going to be doing with it, and there's no sort of secrets.
I think that's a really good thing to know, though. Like, the fact that you guys have gone through in those early days the hustle of really needing to wear so many hats, it kind of gives you, I think, you or any musician who goes through that a better perspective later on, when you're hopefully fortunate enough to not have to wear all those hats at the same time.
Yeah, and it also makes it so when you select someone to take that job over, you know exactly what you need from that person. So they can't, it's impossible for them to take advantage of you, because you know exactly, what you need from them. And in the flip side, it's like, we would never have hired anybody who we thought may have taken advantage of us, because we were at that point where we could see through all of it, because we knew what was required. Yeah. We didn't need someone to blow smoke up our asses to, say how, I can get you this, or I can do that for you. That wasn't a concern for us. We needed someone to carry some of the workload for us, because we had been, managing and ourselves for, it took us years. I don't think we found management until 1, 2, 3, 4 albums in 2012, 2013. We were self-managed. So dealing with all the promoters on our own, we had, not promoters, we had booking agents, but dealing with them, booking all the tours, doing all the accounting on our own.
Yeah.
We had the label, obviously, who was taking care of all the manufacturer, thank God. But we recorded and mixed and made all our own records, and didn't have to we've never dealt with external mixers or engineers or producers, and we've done it all on our own. So it's made it, we have a really nice group of people now who help us out, which helps a lot.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are very, very much an independent rock band, and it seems like you kind of always have been.
DIY, baby.
Yeah, really. So why, maybe this is a silly question, but why release now? Why are you not waiting? Because I know so many people, I think, are waiting. Why release an album during a pandemic?
I don't know. I guess part of it is, I mean, I think it's just straight up logistics. I think when we had made the decision that we were going to release this record, all the labels came together and said, this is the date that feels right. And I think that date was decided kind of in like the first part of March.
Oh, okay.
Just before the shit hit the fan.
Yeah.
So at that point we were kind of, we had talked about waiting, but the labels are still, they still have a plan. They still need to release stuff, and people are still putting out records during this whole thing. And I feel like there's been some small blessings in disguise to do with this whole lockdown thing. I mean, the general consensus is it's a horrible thing, but there have been some, silver linings in this. People working from home is one. And I'm kind of just wondering what this might do. Like maybe people will, because they're at home all the time, maybe they will put maybe they will put a record on and listen to it all the way through. Because they couldn't do that before because they gotta get up and get ready for work. But if they're at home, maybe before they actually step into their office, that's their converted spare bedroom, they're running around making their breakfast and having their shower in the morning, and they've got a record on and they're listening to it from front to back, which is what we've always wanted people to do. But maybe no one's had the time. But maybe things are really slowing down, I mean, we try to lead a slow life also, we don't try to bear ourselves down with too much, and just do as much as we can and try not to be super stressed about it. But maybe this is a byproduct of that. So in that sense, we didn't really fight about having the record put out when it was. We were like, yeah, let's just throw caution to the wind. It's like, it doesn't really matter in the end, because we weren't even sure the record was ever going to get picked up by a label or put out anyway. Yeah. So we're just happy that it's going to be out there.
Yeah. Plus it's kind of like, isn't it like, it's even more pertinent for there to be like music and art during really shitty times, right?
Yeah, it serves a secondary purpose now.
Mm-hmm.
I forget who I was talking to about that recently, just kind of like why wait when people might really need music right now?
Yes, I think so. I think so,
I think
like
so
I was
too.
saying, it's like it gives it, especially if you're home all day long, like people need distractions. They need, it can't take the place of a social interaction, but it's something that, we're in what we're creating, we're trying to reach out to people. So in a way, it's sort of an indirect, social interaction.
Well, yeah, you get to put it out and sort of see maybe more than usual kind of how it's received, because everyone is kind of experiencing it the same way this time. It's through the album. It's not necessarily through catching you on a show or catching a tour,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Are there any plans to tour if that becomes a possibility?
Yeah.
For this album?
Oh,
yeah. We'd booked a tour for this next month, for February, which was ready to rumble in, and as it came into April and May, we realized that was not a reality. So we pushed, and now we're pushing for September of next year, which I feel is probably going to be the craziest rush of bands trying to get into the remaining music venues that have survived.
I know.
That we've maybe ever seen.
Oh my God.
So I know it's gonna be very strange. It's gonna be wild.
I mean, another possible silver lining that I've thought about though is like maybe it will kickstart live a bit of a downturn in people going out to see like live rock bands a little bit. Like the festivals were kind of eating up the venue play.
True.
And maybe this will be, people will just be so excited to go outside again and like go around. Maybe it'll actually kickstart, another little bit of a, resurgence in people going out and going to venues and like small clubs and, seeing their community and experiencing a show together.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I hope so too. That would be the ideal.
Yeah. Connecticut is a pretty small state and we're right next to New York. So people usually just tour New York and then like ignore us. But over the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, we have some really, really good concert booker promoter people in the state that have gotten more and more people to come in. And now I'm just like worried that the smaller areas like us will start to fall off the map again. But hopefully what you're saying comes true and there is kind of this like newfound desire to go out to these places.
I mean, it's tough, like it's like you say, like if the venues are still around, like it's been really hard for a lot of venues just to find ways to stay alive through all this. So I mean, we've lost a few really amazing venues over the last few months. So let's hope that something can happen to either get them kickstarted again or, save them from the wrecking ball.
I know. We were really hoping that there'd be some sort of money coming in for smaller businesses like venues, but that never seemed to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I know that, it's a lot of money, but I mean, we're up here, we're getting, small businesses, arts, community, like we're getting subsidized. The government is helping us through all of this because obviously they know, like even musicians are getting, have been rolled into EI, which is unheard of, because they know that, professionally we'd be working and earning our keep, but in this situation we're not. So
yeah, and I mean it's kind of like, I know that capitalism and like survival of the fittest and all that, but this is so far out of their control. It's not
it really
it's
is.
not like their business failed. It's just like, oh, there was a global pandemic. I think that's so different. I feel like they deserve help now, is maybe more than ever. They like, what are they supposed to do?
I mean, restaurants, it's like, and bars and like, and live venues. These are the places that rely on socializing and community, and they're just dying. It's like they are trying to figure out ways to stay alive. I mean, here for a while they had built like Montreal has this great like outdoor summer vibe going on, and a lot of the bars when they opened up again, they had just put terraces outside, like built like wooden decks like out on the sidewalks. And the city just let them do it so they could try to make some of their money in the summer by, people can be social distancing outside in chairs and, but I mean, winter's coming here. You can't do that, much longer. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
I know. The winter's it's just gonna bring a whole bunch of new challenges. So
yeah,
keep our fingers crossed, I guess.
Yeah.
So just so we don't end on a such a negative note.
This whole thing has just gotten really Debbie Downer.
It's a Goth episode. Come on,
right.
It's supposed to be.
Sure.
No,
I know my logo is like bright yellow. I should probably make it like black for this. But no, just so we don't end on talking about COVID. I've been liking asking people what are some of their like favorite things they've found during the pandemic, like music or art or film or anything like that.
Well, we had a really amazing garden this year.
That works.
Yeah.
I know. I was interviewing.
I mean, we grew all because we weren't sure that.
No, go ahead.
We weren't sure that we were going to be able to buy seeds.
Oh yeah.
This year, because we weren't sure that any of the stores were actually going to open,
or that the farms were going
or the farms were going to allow people to come on the farm. Like there's a farm down the street that we usually go and get our seeds from, but we weren't sure if he was even allowed to have people in his greenhouse. So we just found whatever. We usually buy like starts, like they're actually like started plants, right? But we were out and we found a bunch of seeds. And so we started growing from seed this year for the first time ever. And we grew a whole bunch of stuff, that some of it didn't come up at all. And but we were able to sort of figure out like what, as in a really great like field experiment, we were able to figure out what grows best where on our land and that we should not grow broccoli or cauliflower here in this climate.
Well, it gets too hot. It needs cooler temperature.
Yeah. Really?
And the corn keeps getting eaten by the raccoons.
Oh, no.
That's why they have scarecrows. See, that's another thing I learned. You have to have scarecrows.
Yeah, why? Because then they think someone's there, so they don't come, right?
I guess so. I mean, this is crazy. Like no other parts of our garden got eaten by animals this year, but the corn got absolutely mangled. Like they eat it from the stalk and then at the bottom of the stalk and it just falls over. Like they don't take a little piece of the corn or like nibble at the niblets. They bite into the stalk and it's like chopping the thing down.
Yeah, they are. They're basically beavers of corn.
Yeah, I don't know what is this, raccoons?
I did not know that.
But it was really hard. We had like six great corn stalks that were growing this year, and the animals just slowly started taking bites out of them, and by the end they had all just fallen over and died.
So you didn't get to enjoy any of your homegrown corn?
Nope, not a single.
Nada.
Yeah. So next year I'm gonna build like the Fort Knox of corn patches with chicken wire and
scarecrows
big
galore.
Scary scarecrow dressed in some of Augie's old goth clothing. And we're gonna stake that in the ground and hope that our corn survives.
Yeah, get rid of those fucking raccoons. Well, we can end on corn. I like that. That's a better.
Yeah, let's end on corn.
Corn.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason, Olga. Thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
The new album comes out January 19th. It is called Besnard Lakes Are the Last of the Great Thunderstorm Warnings. I hope everyone checks it out. The first single, that's all I've heard, Raindrops. It's really good. So I'm really looking forward to the rest. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your evening, guys.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.